Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Allison Turner. I'm the founder of Batcat Media Group, which is home to my Dream Plan Start Grow podcast and business coaching program. I wanted to jump on here today and talk a little bit about overwhelm. And obviously, that's not the name of the title of this, but do you wake up feeling overwhelmed? And I have experience in this, so that's why I'm asking the question. You ever wake up feeling overwhelmed or you're not sure where to focus your energy first? This is particular to not only business owners. I think we maybe experience it sometimes more, especially if we're a small business owner and maybe we don't have the team we need yet in place. But it could also be, if you have kids at home, and you're going in 8 different directions, you're working and you have kids, you got to and manage things in the house. So it could be a lot of different situations. So I'm not specifically only to the business owners, but it could even be in marketing strategy. So say you own a company and you're trying to build your own marketing strategy, which is why I'm streaming it to my Batcat Media platforms today too. But, do you feel overwhelmed? Do you never know where to start first? I mean, does any of this ring a bell to you? Do you get frustrated at the end of the day? You look at your to-do list and you're like, oh, I got some of it done, but I didn't get everything done. So I got to move this to the next day. Does that ever happen to you? That seems to happen to me more and more, but I also, I know sometimes I give myself too much. I have appointments and I don't always level things out based on the appointments I have and say like, hey, I can't do this because I got all these appointments today. So I am getting better with that, but that's the one thing I want to talk about today. And I want to talk about it from the standpoint of start strong by pouring your energy and focus into your goals from day one. So what helps me become super clear on what I want to get done that day and super focused and super intentional is knowing what my goals are. So for me, I may have annual goals and I do have annual goals for my company, for my finances, and then for my family, home, friends, like that, and my health. So those kind of go in one set. So I have kind of 3 areas I focus in for my goals. And so I know kind of where I want to go at the end of the year. And then my job is to backtrack that and figure out like, what do I need to get done each day in order to make that happen at the end of the year? So for me, I really look at that and I really am very intentional with that. But I also, it's one thing to be intentional with it. It's another thing to get everything done. So I have to stay super focused in order to get everything done because otherwise it does not happen. And I have clients that have needs. So I'm also working on some of my clients' needs. I can't just give that all to my team members. Sometimes I'm the one that needs to be doing certain things. So that has to come into play as well, because if I didn't have to worry about that and I just, brought clients in and then handed them off completely 100%, then I would have a little bit more time to get everything else done. But I have clients that have needs as well. So for me, it's really, okay, here's the goal that I'm trying to reach at the end of the year. And then I break it into quarters because for me, it's easier that way. And then from the quarter side, I then break it into kind of what needs to be done, monthly and daily and go from there. But it really helps with not being so overwhelmed, and it gives you priorities to focus on. Again, it gives you priorities to focus on because too often we get distracted by the shiny thing, especially if you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, or maybe you have kids. You get distracted very easily by the shiny thing. And now in this day and age with these phones, which are like little mini computers, hey, social media, let me go on and see what's on Facebook. And the next thing you know, it's like 30 minutes later and you're still scrolling on flipping Facebook or Instagram. And you're like, crap, I just spent 30 minutes of like time I can't get back. So for me, it's being intentional and it's prioritizing what has to get done. So if I do find myself like on a break, say I run to the restroom and flipping through, something on Facebook or something like that, I know like, okay, this is my break. And then that goes off and I'm not staying on. So, but it's something you have to train yourself to do. So again, start strong by pouring your energy and focus into your goals from day one. Because if I know at the end of the year, say I have a revenue goal for my company. So if I know I need to hit that revenue goal, I know how much each month I need to hit. And maybe I'm not going to build it all at once. So maybe it's less in the first few months. And then that means I have to build more revenue towards the end of the year in order to hit that bigger revenue goal at the end. So what am I going to do to accomplish that? Is it how many people I'm going to network with? Is it launching my webinar? Is it how many proposals I need to do every month? Is it how many courses I need to sell every month? Yeah, it's a combination of all those things, but I can actually quantify that and make it so that when I quantify that, I know exactly what I have to do each month to then hit that revenue goal at the end of the year. And then that allows me to focus in on, okay, to get to the proposal stage, because proposals don't just fall out of the air as much as I love them to do that. Sometimes they do, because sometimes I get referred clients, which is awesome. I appreciate that. And that referral but that's not saying it's still a done deal, because it's not a done deal. Ultimately, people can hire whoever they want to hire. So the referral maybe makes it easier, but you can't count on referrals because you never know when they're coming in. So I want to be in control of what my numbers are. So I'm going to know that, if I get in front of X amount of people, so like this week is a big networking week for me. So I am going to 5 different networking events and networking. So I went to 2 yesterday. I don't think I have any today. I know I have, 2 tomorrow. And I think I have 1 on Friday. I think that's what it is. But anyway, there's 5. And maybe I have 3 tomorrow and none on Friday. That actually might be the case. But anyway, I know exactly what I need to do. But my goal is just to do 2. I happen to be front loading a lot in this week just because they came up and there were opportunities. And I was like, okay, I can do it. But you have to know your own schedule. You have to be in control of your own schedule. And that's the biggest thing I can tell you as a business owner. If you're a parent, I was never a parent of, I had a stepdaughter, but if you're a parent, I'm guessing it's similar in some respects because you're running all over the place with kids these days, being the mom taxi and things like that. And if you're a working parent, you have to kind of meld those schedules together. And then if you're cooking dinner and all that type of thing, you have to be really good as a time manager, super good. So for me, this is like a similar strategy, whether you're owning a business, whether you want to start a business. So if you want to start a business, I do a lot of business coaching with startup companies, and it's great because they can implement this from day one. So it's not like they get to 6 months in and they're like, oh crap, now what do I do? Like, what's the next step? Because when you start a business, you're like overwhelmed, I got to incorporate, I got to find an accountant, I got to set up my books, I got to get my, EIN number, I got to do all this stuff. I got to have a website and I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. And then you get done. You're like, oh, I'm done. No, you're not done. That means now you got to market and sell. So, but now once you get to that 6 months mark, then being intentional with how you're spending your time to get that next client, to get that next customer, to get in front of the right people, make sure you're focused in on your target market and finding them, whether you're on social media, you're in person, you're on video, whatever it is you're doing, and then growing from there. So that's really what I wanted to share today is, start strong by pouring your energy and focus into your goals from day one. Because if you can start from day one, you're going to be golden. You're going to prioritize correctly. You're going to know that, hey, this isn't a priority today, so I'm going to move this to tomorrow because this here is a priority today because I need to meet this goal. So I hope that helps some of you out there listening, but stay focused, stay intentional and really prioritize where you want to go and be proactive and not reactive, because oftentimes we are reactive and that's not a good place to be. So be proactive, not reactive. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.